Child abuse is when someone inflicts harm upon a child or fails to prevent harm being inflicted upon a child. In the UK there are four main categories of abuse: physical, sexual, emotional abuse and neglect. And in Scotland there's a slight variation where neglect is split into two individual categories: physical neglect and non-organic failure to thrive. We know that deaf children are twice as likely to be abused than other children generally. This is because deaf children are more vulnerable and also because of the challenges that they have around communication, and this quite often means that they're targeted by individuals who would seek to abuse children. We know that anyone can abuse a child. It could be a family member, it could be a friend of the family, someone who's caring for a child. We also know that children abuse each other.
Let's look at the categories of abuse in more detail. Physical abuse is the deliberate physical injury to a child or intentional or unintentional failure to prevent injury or suffering. This may include hitting, shaking, throwing, poisoning, burning or scalding, drowning, suffocating, smacking, and the inappropriate restraint or locking up of a child. Some of the signs and indicators that physical abuse has happened are fist, hand or finger marks, unexplained bruising, bald patches, cigarette burns, bite marks. You might be alerted by particular behaviours and responses such as withdrawn behaviour, fear of parents being contacted or of going home, aggressive behaviour or severe temper outburst, flinching when approached or touched, reluctance to get changed, for example for sports or games, refusal to discuss injuries, frozen gaze, watchful. Emotional abuse is the persistent ill treatment of a child causing a severe adverse effect on their behaviour and development. A child may be told that they're worthless or unloved, or be made to feel frightened or in danger. Emotional abuse may include expectations being imposed on the child which are inappropriate for their age or development. Some of the physical signs that you might notice are failure of the child to grow or develop, speech or sign disorders, or eating disorders. Behaviours which might indicate emotional abuse are passive low self-esteem or low self-confidence, poor social skills, depression, lower than average intellectual development, sudden inexplicable rage, lying and stealing, bedwetting, forming addictions, inappropriate and illegal activity. Neglect is the persistent failure to meet a child's physical, emotional or psychological needs likely to result in significant harm. It may involve a parent or carer failing to provide adequate food, shelter and clothing, failing to protect a child from physical harm or danger, failing to ensure access to appropriate medical care or treatment, and the lack of stimulation or supervision. It may also include non-organic failure to thrive, where children significantly fail to reach normal developmental milestones, from growth and weight to intellectual, social and motor skills, and where this is not linked to physical or genetic reasons. In Scotland, this is a separate category of abuse. The physical indicators of neglect include poor hygiene, being underweight or overweight, being inappropriately dressed, being dirty or unkempt, complaining of hunger. Neglect means the lack of parental response to social and emotional needs. In the case of deaf children, poor communication skills might indicate that parents have made little or no attempt to communicate with their child or teach them to communicate themselves. Children with complex needs are significantly more at risk of abuse, particularly sexual abuse. Sudden changes in a child's behaviour or instinctive feelings you have about the possibility of sexual abuse must be conveyed to your designated child protection person immediately. Sexual abuse involves forcing or enticing a child or young person to take part in sexual activities whether or not the child is aware of what is happening. The activities may involve physical contact, including penetrative or non-penetrative acts, and the touching of a child's private parts. They may also include non-contact activities, such as involving children in looking at pornographic material, including images taken by a child themselves. 90% of sexual abuse is perpetrated by someone the child knows and trusts. Physical signs might include genital or anal pain, itching, bruising or bleeding, stomach pains and headaches, discomfort when walking or sitting, extreme behaviours, for example weight loss or gain. And behaviours or emotional responses to look out for are unexplained aggressive or withdrawn behaviour, fear of someone or several people or certain places, sexually abusing another child, sibling or friend, showing that they have sexual knowledge beyond their age or developmental level, saying they have secrets they cannot tell or having a friend who has a problem, having nightmares or being afraid of the dark, being fearful of undressing, chronic depression, memory loss or an inability to concentrate, substance or drug abuse, eating disorders, self-harming, self-loathing, sexualized behaviour.